Action. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Drew.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Laura.
Nice, Laura. I love it.
That's our
I entertained you
I
this
know you did. I loved it. And hey, everybody, this is our pop culture movie podcast. Comcast? Shit.
Oh no,
I didn't mean to help them out.
We're going corporate this year.
Goddamn. But yeah, this is our podcast, which I'm sure if you found us, you've most likely heard us before. Or someone said, "What is this thing?" Where we talk about movies that have influences on pop culture, and generally one of us hasn't seen them, so we watch them together and we have fun. But this time of year, though, we always do an end of year recap, and we talk about our favorite stuff and stuff that we wish we'd seen, we didn't see, all the good, bad, and the ugly. Brian, Laura, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm excited. This is one of my favorite episodes to record because we just go and watch all these movies, and now we get to talk about stuff that we see generally, like sometimes for the podcast, but outside of the podcast.
Yeah.
It's a fun one. I like this one.
Yeah, same. And always looking back on the year, like, wow, I forgot I saw that.
Yeah.
Especially from the
100
beginning of the year. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's always funny because like part of the thing that we do for this list is we create a list of our favorite movies we've seen. And it's like, if you ask me, you're like, what movies did you see this year? I'm like, 3. I saw 3 movies this year. But then I go through the list and I'm like, oh, I actually saw 20 movies this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which is low, but like for me normally, but like, now I can't see movies much. So like that was a good number for me. And I was happy about that. And that's like movies in 2020 that came out in 2023.
Yeah.
So yeah, always a fun time. And this is always just a good reflection one. We always have a good time with that. However, we're still in the spirit of the holidays. And before we really jump into this episode, Brian and Laura, I know that you both are Christmas movie aficionados or just enjoy your Christmas movies. It's like, it's part of the season, and it's like you have your must watches. Brian has a list of things that have to be watched, or he feels like he's failed the year. Like Laura's just like knows what she likes and watches certain things. So like I have like 2 movies I'm like, I definitely have to watch this at Christmas. It's like Muppet Christmas Carol and It's a Wonderful Life. Those are essentially my must watches, and anything else that fits in, it's like, cool, I got it in. But like, I don't know. So would you say that you've seen a decent amount of Christmas movies?
I think so.
I think so too. I've
Okay.
seen
I
quite
definitely
a few.
feel like I've hit all the classics.
Okay.
There's like the past couple of years, there's been a huge influx of like Netflix Christmas and Hallmark Christmas. I definitely have not kept up with all of those.
Okay.
But like classics and some of the modern ones, I definitely feel pretty confident in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same with me.
Fantastic. Okay, so I'm gonna start this off then with a little bit of classic Christmas movie trivia for the 2 of you. Okay.
I'm ready.
So I'll read the question, and both of you give the answer, and then I will move on to the next one, and then at the end we'll reveal the answers. Okay.
Love it.
All right. Now some of these are easy. Some of them seem to be a little more difficult, at least in my opinion. Maybe you'll know what they are, but let's go for it, okay? Number 1, in the movie A Christmas Story, what present does Ralphie want for Christmas? And I want the whole name.
It's a Red Ryder BB gun.
I have the same
that's all I can
answer.
remember.
I
know
know
there's
there's
more, but I can't think of it.
No, so it is a Red Ryder BB gun. Sorry, normally I would wait, but I gave it away with my entire look of surprise that Brian got it right. So I felt I might as well just say you're correct. Absolutely.
Cool.
I thought there's a whole nother. He's like with the something. Gauge,
Yeah, the action, like
yeah.
No,
okay.
just
Okay.
yeah.
No, Red Ryder BB gun. I did know that as well.
Okay, so
That's an easy one.
all right. I'm going to try to keep a straight face. Maybe I'll turn the camera off so you can't see me making reactions. All right, here we go. The next question. In It's a Wonderful Life, what causes George to lose hearing in his left ear?
I have not seen It's a Wonderful Life since we watched it for the
Okay.
podcast.
I was going to say you have seen it because we watched it for the podcast, but okay,
Yeah.
so it's been 3 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So I can't remember if it's. I think it's when he falls in the lake, or like through the ice in the lake, but then he also gets hit by the store owner. And I know that's when it bleeds, but I think he like already had lost his hearing from being in the water, right?
So I can't not tell the answers at this point. I'm just too excited. So I'm just going to reveal them as we go.
I think we'll just do like a joint competition. Yeah. Like we don't need to keep score.
We're not keeping score. So you're right. So you're very close. He doesn't like fall in. He actually jumps in. Yes, he jumps in the ice cold water to save his brother, and he ended up getting like he got something in it, and he caused the loss of hearing. And then yes, the store owner slaps him in the ear because he didn't deliver the poison to the old lady, because the store owner was all sad because his son had died in the war.
Yep.
So yeah, he lost his hair saving his brother Harry.
Got it.
After being questioned by Lucy in A Charlie Brown Christmas, I don't either. What does Linus say he's going to do with his blanket when he grows up?
Oh, I don't know.
He's gonna turn it into a jacket.
He's gonna turn it into a sports coat.
Yeah. Is that really it?
He's gonna turn it into a sport coat.
Shut up. Did you just guess that?
That was a full-on guess.
I was gonna say, I didn't hear any clicking on the keyboard. So Brian either has a silent keyboard now, or he just guessed it.
That's a good one. Okay.
All right.
I haven't seen that in a very long time. That's one I remember always being on when I was little, but I don't really remember any details from it other than the
remember actively
piano.
Watching it. It was just a thing that happened on TV.
Yeah.
All right. In Miracle on 34th Street, what is the name of the man hired to fill in as Santa Claus at the Thanksgiving parade?
Now, Drew knows this is the movie that I hate.
Yes, I do.
So
I haven't seen this in so long. Is this the newest Miracle on 34th Street?
I believe it's both of them.
I was gonna say I think they keep the same. Yeah.
Yes. It's
something Kringle.
Yes.
Oh.
It's
is it
name.
Kris Kringle?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Kris Kringle. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Here should be an easier one for us. All right. Should hopefully help
redeem ourselves.
Okay. Yeah. What drink does Ralphie's little orphan Annie decoder ring tell him to drink in A Christmas Story? Ovaltine. You know this from Seinfeld, I bet, just in general, like the bit.
It's Ovaltine, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's Ovaltine. Be sure to drink your Ovaltine.
I wouldn't have guessed that. I completely forgot about that. But
be sure to drink your Ovaltine.
Yep. Yeah. Ovaltine. Why is it? It was like, it's what is it? It's round. It's in a round container.
Yeah.
Shouldn't it be called Roundtine?
Do you guys like Ovaltine? Have you ever had it?
Yeah, I've had it. It's very malty. It's not like
if I did,
it doesn't taste like
when
milk
I was a
chocolate.
Kid.
It's got a different
definitely
flavor.
Not like a chocolate milk.
Yeah.
I
don't mind it.
Remember.
I mean, I preferred like Nestle's Quick or the syrup because as a kid I wanted milk chocolate. You know what I mean? Chocolate milk, good chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Oh, as an adult, like Ovaltine, I'm sure I could get behind it. Fine.
Are you guys a syrup first then milk, or milk first then syrup?
Milk first then
milk
syrup.
First then syrup. I'm not we're not fucking psychos.
People put syrup first.
Why?
Okay, actually,
stuck to the thing.
To be fair, when I'm making my kids chocolate milk in a hurry, I'm like in the thing, and then I'm like pour the milk, and I'm like, yeah, I hear you. You want chocolate milk? And I'm like stirring it free. Yeah, so like that I can get, but when I'm like making it, it's like an artisan thing. Like I'm like, put the right amount in there, sprinkle the little thing.
Salt Bay.
Yeah, exactly. Just a little bit of salt makes a huge difference.
The syrup's just dripping off of your elbow.
Gross. All right. What is the name of the guardian angel who takes George Bailey on his journey in It's a Wonderful Life?
Is it... Oh, fuck. It's like a named angel from the Bible, right? Is it Gabriel?
I don't know if this angel is in the Bible or not. I don't know. I don't know it well enough.
I honestly don't know. I
It
feel
is
like it's just a normal, like Daniel or something. Like
It's definitely an older name. You don't hear many people are named today, like Gabriel, but it's not Gabriel.
Harold.
Close, but no.
Oh,
It starts
Gerald?
with a C. C-L.
Clarence?
Yes,
Okay.
Clarence.
Now that I
Clarence.
said it, now I remember. Okay.
Yes. All right.
It's been a while since I've seen that movie.
Yeah. Okay. What is the response from adults whenever Ralphie says he wants what he wants for Christmas in A Christmas Story? What do they tell him?
Shoot your eye out.
eye out.
kid.
Yeah, you'll shoot your eye out. Damn right. What item does Ralphie's dad win in A Christmas Story that is later broken by his mother?
It's
The leg lamp.
It's the leg lamp.
Yeah, it is. All right.
Fragile.
Fragile. Yeah. All right. This is a little harder. Okay. What is the wish that George Bailey says out loud every time he taps the lighter in It's a Wonderful Life? He goes in the drugstore and they have like if you can light the lighter, you get a wish. It's like this weird little toy, but
Oh. Doesn't he go, hot dog?
that's the end. Yes, that's what he
Oh.
says whenever it lights. He says,
Oh, but he says something first?
he says, I wish I had something. And then hot dog. Good job with the hot dog part, though. I wouldn't have thought you would have got that.
I wish I had $1 million.
Yes.
Is that
hot
it?
dog. Yes.
I'm totally guessing here.
Hell
The hot dog I
yes.
did know, but okay.
That's awesome.
a good
Nice
wish.
job.
This movie was ingrained in my head more than I thought it was.
I hope so. All right. I'll give you a couple more and then we'll finish this off. Okay.
Feeling good about this now.
Good. We're going to jump into more comedies that instead of just overall classics, but these are still kind of classics, all these movies anyway. But in Elf, why does Santa's sleigh crash in Central Park? What's the reason? Why doesn't it stay in flight?
It's not enough Christmas spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Shortage of Christmas spirit. All right. In the movie Jingle All the Way, what
I
is
don't
the
know
name
this
of the action figure toy that's so popular?
Turbo Man.
Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't even seen that one this year. I saw Elf 2 days ago.
I watched it. I think I watched it like 2 days ago too. According to the movie Elf, what are the 4 main food groups for elves?
Oh shit. I think maple syrup's one.
It's like sugar.
Oh, okay.
No, candy. Candy's one.
Cookies?
Okay.
Candy's one.
Cocoa. No. Licorice. Gumdrops.
Is cookies one? No?
So all we have is candy?
Yeah, and
I remember I can like picture when he says it too.
candy canes, candy corns, and syrup.
Oh,
Which
Brian
is
was
weird,
close
like-
with the maple syrup, yeah.
Why is candy corns in for Christmas? Yeah, it's all right.
It's all the leftovers from Halloween.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
They got him discount at CVS.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do 3 more and then we're gonna finish this off. Okay.
Okay.
So, in the 1988 movie Scrooged, what is the job that Bill Murray's character Frank Cross has? What is his job?
I have not seen that movie.
You've never seen Scrooged?
Nope.
Put this on your list for this year.
All right.
It is really good.
It is
it's one of
so
my
good.
favorites that we've done. I don't remember what he did. I feel like he was I wanted to say PR, but he was like directing something at the end.
He is a television executive.
Television executive.
Yes.
Okay.
That's right.
Laura, I mean, if you like Bill Murray in general,
I do, yeah.
amazing. You just watch it. Find it and watch it.
All right.
Please. And then tell me that you liked it or not. All right. Okay. 2 more and then we're done. Here we go. In The Santa Claus, what is the name of the head elf?
It starts with a B.
It does.
Bernard.
Yes.
Yes, teamwork.
Good teamwork there. Yeah.
Fantastic.
It was-
Which wasn't
I could-
isn't he in something else?
This year he was in Oppenheimer.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why it was funny because when he walked on, I was like, Bernard. Yes. Okay. And finally, our last one in Home Alone. Where is the McAllister family traveling when they accidentally leave Kevin behind?
I know it. Do
There-
you know it?
I think I know it. Is
You
it
can
France?
Paris.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Yeah.
Nice job. I love it. Good job.
We did pretty good.
Oh, I should have asked this. I'm going to do one more because I saw one I like. All right. It's another Home Alone-ish one. Okay. What is the name of the burglar duo that Kevin takes on in Home Alone and Home Alone 2? In the first movie, they called themselves one thing. In the second movie, he named the group that Daniel Storm called them a second thing. I'll take either one of what he calls themselves.
I know the first one.
I
Okay,
know the
what's-
first one too. I don't know
what-
the second one.
What's the first one?
It's the Wet Bandits.
Wet
baby.
Bandits.
The
Yeah.
Wet Bandits. In the
I'm
second,
not a Home Alone 2 person. I know that's like
Okay.
unpopular. People are like the second one's better. No,
the second one's really good, but it's not better. It's a really good one. It's the same movie. It's the same goddamn movie.
What
But
were
in the
they?
second one, he's walking around and he has, for some reason, like
Is he like
he's
the
got
Sticky
tape.
Bandits?
The Sticky Bandits. He puts
Okay.
his hand in the Salvation Army bucket and pulls up it's like
Yeah.
covered in change and dollar bills. He's like, "We're the Sticky Bandits." Yeah, fantastic. I'm going to close the site down so I don't ask you any more questions because I'm just super excited. Nice job. All right, cool. Fantastic. Loved it. And thanks for humoring me and going through. You both did great. There were a few really tough ones
was
in
fun.
there.
We did
All
good.
right. All right. So Brian, what do we got going on for today? What's up?
Yeah, we're doing our classic movie countdown, but we're doing it a little bit different this year. So normally we all pick our top 10 movies, and we've done that. But this year we're meshing them all together and doing sort of like a ranked choice voting thing. So if we took all of our brains and put them into our pot and created a character named Reel Doof, this is Reel Doof's top 10 movies. So there's a bit of math that went into it, but all the movies got a certain amount of points. They got more points if they were movies that we each ranked higher. So by the end of this, we should all generally agree that these are our top 10 movies.
Cool.
Together, we have 22 different movies. So we've seen a lot of movies together because it's not a full 30 different movie list.
Mhm.
So I'll take you through some of the honorable mentions that didn't quite make it to the top 10. And then the top 10 hopefully are ones that we all mostly agree with. There are some that some of us have rated so high that even though only one of us has seen it, it got onto the list. But
Wow.
for the most part,
I have a
they're
feeling
all
I know
movies
which one
that we
that is.
generally agree on.
Nice.
I actually went back and did this for last year's. So
Oh.
I just want to tell you the top 3 from last year using the same math. Do you have any guesses for what the top 3 were last year? Do you remember?
Trying to remember. The only one that I can remember that we talked about was Everything Everywhere All at Once, but I was the only one that had seen it.
Yeah, you were the only one.
Well,
who
I
had
had seen it, but
so-
it didn't make my it didn't make
wasn't
my
on your
top
list?
10. No.
Yeah,
Well, Laura and I both really like Barbarian.
Oh, yeah.
that was number 3.
Okay.
Oh, there was another one that we all liked, wasn't there?
Yep. Let's see. What else was there? Now, I know like the Marvel movies Brian and I both saw and we liked those. So there was Doctor Strange was something we both saw. We saw
You actually didn't put Doctor Strange on your top 10 last year.
I didn't.
I was
No,
the
I
only
don't
one
think
who
I did.
did.
Yep, you really enjoyed it.
I did. I actually really liked that a lot. We both saw Black Panther, but it was a little bit lower down on the list, so it didn't make it into the top 3.
Yep. Okay.
Oh,
right.
and Thor: Love and Thunder was on mine because I didn't see a lot of movies, but it was okay.
Yes. Okay.
I don't remember anything that was on my list. So
Fine. Number 2 was Nope. That
Yes.
was actually
Oh, yeah.
really high up for me and Laura. It was a little
Yep.
bit lower on Drew's list, but it was still
Now I remember
Top
that.
10 for me
Yeah.
though.
top 10 for sure.
Yep.
And then Glass Onion was the one that we
Yes.
all had
Oh, yeah.
pretty high up.
God, that seems like a lifetime ago.
It does.
I know.
I've also
Because I
seen
was
it,
like, I
so
don't
many
even know.
times since then.
No,
Oh,
that
nice.
makes sense. I feel like that's a really good top 3. Yeah.
great. Well, I'll take us through some of the honorable mentions here. We've got a few of them, so we'll just go quick. In the honorable mentions, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem.
Fair. Yeah, I hear it's really good.
It was really good. It reminded me of Spider-Man across that like new
Yeah.
art style. Very funny, very cute. We also have Scream 6 was on the list.
Yeah. That's only because I haven't seen a lot of movies and I had to put it on there.
Yeah, I think it honestly was like pretty close to getting on mine. I actually enjoyed that. I was trying to separate like the movie from the experience of us all watching it together, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But that you know, that was
Laura having to
fun.
lay down in the back of the car.
Do you want to know that I didn't even remember that's where I watched it? Was laying down in your back seat of your car. That sounds really weird, but
yeah.
was
We'll leave the
trying
story there. You were lying down in the back seat of my car. I was wearing an elf costume. We watched Scream 6.
Yeah.
With a bowl of candy. That just blew my mind. Because I was like, I know I saw this movie, and I know that it was okay, but it wasn't great comparatively to the other Scream movies. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
That's funny.
Well, did not leave an impression. Maybe I was just tired after watching the other movie.
Well, we were too, because we're not used to being up this late, on a weekday. Yeah, that was the other thing. Oh, weekday. God.
Yeah.
Bad choice.
Well, that's funny. That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saw 10 is on the honorable mentions, which I think you saw like days ago, right?
I just watched it.
I was just going to say, Laura must have seen that, because I'm like, who the hell saw that? Like,
so Brian was like, I talked to him about this the other day. He's like, that doesn't really seem like a movie that you would like. And I said, it sounds even weirder that I have like a nostalgia for the Saw movies, but it's because in college, the first one came out, I think my freshman year of college, and we all went to go see it at the theater there, and then it would come out every Halloween after that, and we would go every year, and then like at that point I had seen all 4 of them, and I'm like, I have to just finish the story. Yeah, so
that seems about right. I think 2004.
Yep,
maybe.
Yep, that would be.
It was either October 2003 or 2004. I just started working at
it would
the
be
movies.
2004. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't have like a weird obsession with the torture of those movies.
Also on this list, Beau is Afraid, which is on my like watch list. I'm upset that I missed that this year.
That was one that I had forgot that I watched, but then when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, that was actually a wild movie.
That was very, very wild.
Yeah, like worth a watch, I think.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. This list, these are all in our top 10 still. They just didn't quite make the like Reel Doof Hive Mind top 10.
Yeah.
Asteroid City, I had put that on there. I don't think that was on your list, Drew.
It was not. No, it didn't make my top 10, but it was very close.
Yeah, it was pretty low on my top 10. It was not my favorite Wes Anderson film, but it was good.
Enjoyable nonetheless, but just
beautiful. It was gorgeous, and the actors are always super great. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania was not on my list. That was on Drew's list, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
Yeah,
it was fun.
It was right on the cusp of making it to mine.
Everyone shits on it. It was a fun movie.
Yeah, it's a little long, but it was fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. These guys are really making people want to see it.
You know,
it was okay.
It was good. It was in my top 10.
Speaking of a movie,
I guess that's true.
The Flash.
Yes. Yes, that was kind of midway up my top 10.
Yeah, you had that pretty high. I was so
I had a
surprised.
really good experience watching it, and I didn't want to like it as much as I did.
Yeah.
I gave the actor a chance. I said, "Hey, I appreciate that you seemingly are getting the help that you need. Your performance was fun. I laughed a lot more than I thought I was going to. I had a good time, and I enjoyed it. So it made it higher than I expected."
Renfield, which was on my list, which I really liked. It was Nicolas Cage, Nicholas Hoult.
I do want to see that.
It was really good. It's very gory. I didn't realize it was going to be such like a...
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a lot of blood, but in like a funny way. It's a very like dark comedy sort of thing. No Hard Feelings, which was on 2 of our lists, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's one that I just watched.
Did you just watch it, Laura?
night or the night before.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. It's
not
like,
bad.
It
Yeah,
was pretty good. Yeah.
It was, right? I think I was explaining, like, for me, I was hoping it was getting, I saw it a week or two after it came out, and everyone was saying it's this raunchy comedy. And I was like, my day, the raunchy comedies came up, and it was 40-Year-Old Virgin. It was, Super Bad had come out. It was Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah.
It was all these string of like Judd Apatow, like kind of produced movies, and they were really raunchy. And I was expecting that. And it was really
it
just
really
Jennifer
wasn't.
Lawrence had a big filthy mouth in that movie. That
Yeah.
was the most part of it. And she did this one like silly scene on the beach. And
Yeah.
but for the most part, it was a pretty straightforward story. You knew where it was going to go. There weren't too many surprises. So
Yeah.
it was a good watch, but I don't think like I wasn't going to see it again in theaters. I might tell somebody to check it out if they want to have fun. But like I said,
I heard that she did the nude like fight scene on the beach because she had, unfortunately, like, I don't know when, years ago, had nude photos of her leaked from an ex. So she decided, like, I'm going to do this and put my body out there like the way that I want to and make it fun and kind of like a big F you. I was like, I think that's really great. I love that.
So I don't know if it was photos leaked by her ex. It was photos of her and her ex, and it was Nicholas Hoult. Her and photos from her, because she and Nicholas Hoult dated when they were doing the X-Men movies. But it was during all those like Apple iCloud leaks that were happening a long time ago. That happened to a bunch of celebrities. Their accounts were broken into. But her and Nicholas Hoult. Yep.
But good for her.
Yeah, I know. Because it was a funny scene because someone's literally fighting.
It was so out of nowhere.
Yes, out of nowhere.
It was very funny. Yeah. She has a good interview on Hot Ones. She talks
so
about
good.
This movie a lot.
I love her. She's like one of my favorite actresses. Yeah. She's just so down to earth and funny.
But she has like also the most like memed moment from Hot Ones this year. That like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Yeah.
So good. So the last honorable mention here is Totally Killer, which I think was on Laura's list.
Yeah, I know. I think I told Drew to watch it, but you never did.
No, not yet. I haven't seen it.
The trailer looked really fun.
It was really good. It was surprisingly like funny. It was just a really good time.
Yeah. Well, I like the actress who plays the lead there from. I mean, I remember her from Mad Men. She was Don Draper's daughter in Mad Men. Kieran, I think something. And then I think you were telling me that Julie Bowen is in it. She's from Modern Family, the mom in Modern Family.
Yes,
is the mom. Yeah,
yep, she's
who I love. I love her.
Yeah, and then they kind of did. It's one of those classic like travel through time, trying to catch the killer, but they had a really good spin on it where it wasn't fully predictable, so it was good. Yeah, I liked it.
It's like Back to the Future meets a killer. That's awesome.
I recommend.
Nice. And it's on Amazon, right? It's on Prime, I think.
I think it was a Prime
or Hulu. It's one of the others,
movie.
but
I think it was
Prime or Hulu. It's one of them. Yeah, cool.
Nice. Well, that takes us to the start of our actual countdown. So we've got at spot number 10 with a 97% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes and a 91% audience score, Past Lives, which was pretty high up on Drew's list, I think.
Yep.
I haven't seen it, and I'm actually unfamiliar with the movie altogether.
Yeah, I gotta Google this.
So I just finished the movie. I watched it in 2 parts. I watched the first part maybe 2 months ago, and then it was like, it's bedtime, and I turned it off, and I literally forgot about it until like 2 weeks ago, and I finished it up, and it is literally just a. I don't know how to explain this movie, the feeling from this movie, but it's the very most basics plot line is that it's a South Korean film, and it's these 2 kids are really good friends, and then the girl, her parents need to move to Canada or the United States. I can't remember where I think it's Canada they first go to. But
Mhm.
these two kids, they separate, they leave, and they were really close friends, the boy and the girl. And then we see what their lives are like as they're growing up, and they connect in college again via like Zoom calls. And there's this spark still, and there's this South Korean like saying about like a soulmate and this reincarnation thing, and it's like, you don't, is it, if is they, are they, but she meets somebody else, gets married, and then they finally actually connect, and she's gonna show him around and in New York where they're living. And it's the tension and it's so really like, it's such a wonderful movie. I would not be surprised if it is the winner of best foreign film this year, or
Okay.
at least shoe in for nomination. I It's just a delight. Honestly, it's not, nothing crazy happens, nothing too crazy, I should say. But I don't want to give anything away, but it's wild. Literally, I just want to tell you, like, the opening scene of the movie is at a bar really late at night, and you're seeing these three characters, the woman, the guy, and her husband at the bar, and they're all sitting together, and you're hearing two other people at the bar. You don't see these other people, you just hear them as the camera's zooming in, and these people are trying to guess, like, do you think that's her boyfriend, or is that like, I don't know. He doesn't seem like he's interested, but she, like, so off the bat there's going to be maybe this triangle or this confusion or what. It's honestly a lovely film. So cool. I ended up putting it up higher on the list than I expected it to be.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Add that to my list. Yeah,
same here. I've been using Letterboxd to keep track of movies that I want to watch and the movies that I have watched, and I used it to like build my list this year.
Nice.
In spot number 9, with again a pretty high critic score and like an 82 audience score, Talk to Me.
Nice.
Yeah, that was one of mine. List. Yeah, that one. Did you end up watching that, Drew? I can't remember. No,
still not. No, and it's on Netflix now.
It was again another horror, like, yeah, I would say mostly horror, maybe a little bit thriller, like mystery vibe, but it just was a super unique story that you have not seen before in any other scary movie, which is really hard to do because like everything's been done. It started off a little bit slow, but then you really get, and again, it's so hard to talk about these without giving too much away if people want to see them, but it starts off a little slow, but definitely give it a chance to really get going. There's some jump scares, there's some very gory parts, but overall really good, really creepy, kind of makes you think about how people would react in certain situations and like what you would do for your family or friends.
I love it.
Yeah, there's one really, really gory part for anyone that's seen it, and normally that doesn't really bother me, but it's when somebody's like possessed and they're injuring themselves.
Oof. Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
Oh my goodness, that like freaks me out. Yeah, and it happens multiple times in the movie, so trigger warning if you don't like blood and gore. Definitely probably not the movie for you. Which was kind of unexpected. I thought it was going to be more of just like a possession film. But there was a lot more to it. Yeah.
Cool.
It was really good. Very different.
Definitely. I still want to see it, so hopefully I get around to it.
Yeah. I want to see what you think.
I will definitely not be adding that.
I know.
I don't think you would enjoy this one very much at all.
It didn't look like it. I saw like a trailer for it or something. And I was like, no. I like the idea of it. It seemed like a neat like concept, but I was like, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, it gets pretty involved. Yeah.
Wildly different direction here, with a 99% critic score and a 98% audience score.
Wow.
This is Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour.
Yeah. Nice. I thought this was going to be the one that was number 2 that like only one of us had seen.
High
because it's so freaking good.
I know,
so good.
The 2% are the people who probably got trampled at a movie theater.
Like it's just so good. Drew, I'm really bummed that you didn't see it while it was in the movie theater because
listen, I have a giant TV and it's coming to rent on December 13th. So
and even Brian, I think you would really enjoy it because the style, like the way that it was filmed, it's just so good. I don't want to talk too much about it because I think I talked about it probably like 3 times in other episodes. But you really go into it thinking it's just going to be a standard like recording of her concert, but it's so much more than that, and just the way they filmed it and added like effects to it and stuff.
Oh,
it's just so good.
That's cool.
Honestly, I want to see it very badly.
And you got 3.5 hours to listen to some Taylor Swift. I bet you if you watched it in the movie theater, we could convert you both to Swifties.
I listen every now and then. I throw Swift on like the essentials on my music, so like I'm a fan.
When I was playing music live, we'd always cover a Taylor Swift song and throw it into like one of our sets just for fun. I played "You Belong with Me" live a lot, so I've been a Taylor Swift fan for a while.
And I liked the Eras tour idea because you go through her different like styles and genres and you get to like know her whole story and how she grew. I don't know. It's very I hate that I talk about Taylor Swift like this. It's really bothers me sometimes.
At like the marketing of
of 100%.
herself and her brand and like creating a theme for all of these records, and so to like go from theme to theme in one tour, and like wild amount of work. Like it's way more than just like I am exhausted playing music, even just like practicing when people are over and stuff. Yeah. But like imagine playing live on a stage in front of that many people and then like
for 3.5 hours
something
a night.
to get to a different part of the stage. Like wild.
Yeah. It's insane. And I think you also see that in the movie of like how hard she's actually going, doing this. It's insane. It's insane.
And now we're recording this before the beginning of the year. So I think it was announced today. Didn't she win Time Magazine's Person of the Year today?
Person of the Year.
Over the president of China and Putin, I believe. Those were nominated contenders.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are a little upset about it, but you know what? I think she deserves it.
I think so too.
Yeah,
she is the person
smart
of the millennia.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's all I have to say about Taylor Swift. I'll bring her up again because I'll keep going.
A lot of things to say.
All right. If you want to know her whole history, you just sit me down for like an hour. I'll make a PowerPoint presentation.
Oh yes,
we'll do a Taylor Swift themed episode.
We should. We should watch the Eras tour.
Yeah.
Do we have 5 hours to record an episode?
We did, so we could.
We'll be in. Drew and I can guess what we think will be in the movie.
Yeah.
Again, wildly switching gears. The next film with a slightly lower critic and audience score, Evil Dead Rise, which I think you both have seen. This is now we're in the frame of things where multiple people have seen it.
Yes, we invited you and you said no.
Yeah.
No,
you
thank
guys
you.
made me watch the trailer, and that was enough.
Yeah, that was an enjoyable one. Laura and I had a good time watching that, and we literally like grinned a lot through our teeth, and we were like, no, and like a lot of those like inhale hiss noises, like oof, those things, and cheese graters and all these different things. It was
I forgot about the cheese grater. Yeah.
It was definitely a different take on Evil Dead franchise.
Yeah. But they also still had some of there were some of like really, I don't want to say corny, but cheesy parts stuff where you're like, oh, that's the core of Evil Dead right there. Yes. Yeah.
Yep, we saw plenty of that. I just love the movie opens up in one location and something happens, and then it goes to a whole different location. And halfway through the movie, I look at Laura, I'm like, is that the same fucking person from the beginning? What happened? And then Laura's like, no. I'm like, what did the beginning have to do with anything? And then we find out we go there later at the end. It's like, so it was funny, but we're like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, I think it was a good.
Don't do that. Don't go down there.
Yeah, definitely one of those movies of like, why are you opening the Necronomicon Book of the Dead while there's skeletons surround you in a basement that you crawled into that's been buried for years? Like, why?
When you open a book and it has teeth, like you don't open that up.
No,
you don't open that up.
Oh,
You move as far away as you can from that book.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Uh,
classic like horror, gory, cheesy,
Yeah.
all around good time fun.
Yep.
If a horror movie can be fun.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Mm.
It's time for spot number 6.
Okay.
Which has the lowest critic score. And
Oh god, is it gonna be one of my movies?
No. 61% critic score, which is pretty
Uh-huh.
low for this list. It doesn't have the lowest audience score. It's tied with a few other movies. And actually, in spot number 6 is exactly where Drew and I both rated this film, which is The Marvels.
Nice.
Okay.
Very cool.
Which was
I did not
actually,
see that and will not see that.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't think you should say you will not see certain things. Come on. Why wouldn't you see, like, that's what we're going to do one year. We're just going to watch all 35 movies from the beginning.
You might need to find a new Reel Doof.
Have you seen any of the, like, MCU
She's seen a
films,
couple,
Laura?
yeah.
I fall asleep every time that I watched them. It's just not for me. I don't know.
That's fair.
But
I like
Taylor
Iron
Swift
Man.
is going to be in one of them.
I like Iron. I'll watch that.
Harry Styles was in one.
Yeah.
I can watch that one. No, I fell asleep in like Captain America. I don't know.
Well, the first Captain America's boring.
No, okay.
Yeah, there's some boring ones out there. I think
Yeah.
Drew and I will have an aside, and we'll come up with a perfectly tailored list of Marvel
Like,
movies for Laura,
to get me
designed for Laura. Yeah.
To get me involved. Okay, I would be
Yeah.
up for that. Let's do
Okay.
that. Okay, but so the Marvels. This is the one with
Brie Larson.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. It was really good. It reminded me of like a classic like 80s romp movie. Like the premise, Laura, without like spoiling too much, is they all have very similar superpowers, and they end up like doing a thing where they switch places when they use their powers. So it's like a very Freaky Fridays. They don't.
I
change
remember
bodies,
that
but,
from
like,
the trailer. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they swap like locations, and they like learn to team up and how to use that to their advantage and stuff. And it's a very like empowering teamwork, learning to like deal with different problems in unique ways and stuff. And it's just like short. Like it was only an hour and 40 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It was a
Maybe
quick
I spoke
moving
too
movie.
soon. Okay.
I mean, I get where you're coming from. And honestly, I think that the Marvel movies, the ones that have come out in the last couple of years, they don't live up to the expectations that a lot of us had from going through a 10-year storyline of the first ones. But there's some really wonderful things they've done. Some of those movies are so good. Like when they started exploring in their early days, saying like, let's do a genre of a movie and put a superhero in that genre. Like there's one of the second Captain America movie is so good. It's way better than the first one. And it's an espionage thriller, but it has Captain America in it. Like it's very like the tone is so cool. But anyway, I'm not going to try to convince you now to watch those. We'll talk later on that. But the Marvels was just really fun. I know there's a lot of people that hate on Brie Larson or hate on her as the character because she cares about women. And that's
not what I thought you were going to say. But
no, she's just someone
not
who
shocking.
People don't like the fact that she is she's a feminist, sure, but she's also like someone who wants to make sure that women have equal opportunities. So I remember one time people complained because when she goes on press tours, she requires that the same amount of women interview her that men do. I think that's
seems
fair.
About right.
Yeah, I think that's a fair request because it's an industry that's dominated by men. Yeah. So saying I want people to be interviewed by the same amount of people is not an evil, bad thing. But, a lot of neckbeards out there think that it is. So, and they're threatened by that. So it's like, dude, you weren't going to interview her in the first place. So
right.
Sit the fuck down. But anyway, I digress. It was a fun movie. And the youngest actress in it, I'm going to butcher her name, so I'm not even going to try, but she plays Miss Marvel. She was in the TV show Miss Marvel. She steals the show and she's adorable and she's one of the most likable human beings I've ever seen. Laura, this is the reason like you would probably like at least this character is this girl was a huge fan of the character she ended up being hired to play. She cosplayed as her. She knows more about the character in Marvel comics. She's such a nerd. She tells the boss of Marvel, like, we're actually not in this universe you're saying we're in. We're in this universe. Like, she is so awesome, and she has such a cool mentality on things. So I'm like,
She
give
just
me
wrote
more.
a comic too.
She
Oh,
just
really?
wrote a Captain Miss Marvel comic.
Yeah, which is really
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, that's sick.
So
yeah.
and just a really nice thing. So anyway, yeah, I'm not going to keep talking because we want to get through this list, but it was a fun movie. And out of a year of disappointing and really down but good Marvel movies,
Yeah.
this was a fun movie to watch again. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
Cool.
speaking of down Marvel movies,
Oh, no.
in spot number 5 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume
Volume
3.
Yes.
Which
See,
is
those I
easily...
liked the first two of, but I'm like
Yeah.
another one. Okay.
It's
Well,
well, it
you would, if
finishes
you like the
off.
first
Yeah.
two, you
Yeah.
will love and hate the third.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
no.
Yeah. It's Laura, I would guarantee you would need tissues.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
many times.
Yes.
I cried a lot.
Yes.
Does something
Yes.
happen to Groot? No.
I mean, Groot's a
so.
beefy boy now. I don't know if
He's a
you've
pretty
seen him
beefy
since
boy.
the second
Yeah.
Guardians. Last Christmas, they did a Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, an hour-long special on Disney Plus. Groot is thick. He's a big boy now. And Laura, you might actually like
Redwood.
you might like this premise too. You might want to watch this just for the fun of it. Like Drax and Mantis from Chris Pratt's character is so bummed out about something that those two go to get him the ultimate Christmas present. They go to Earth to kidnap Kevin Bacon.
I love that.
It's an hour long
Alright,
and well
okay.
worth it. So anyway, but yeah, really great final chapter of the Guardians movies. Overall, I don't want to say a fun movie, but it had its flaws, but it was just it was like a relief to see a movie that really appreciated itself and made sense. And
It might be
that's
the
all I got.
best like trilogy in the
Definitely.
MCU.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
all
really?
three
Okay.
Yes.
are solid films on their own, and then it
Yes.
ties together this nice story. There's like the Thor series gets messy. The
Yes.
Captain America series, like the later ones, are really good.
Yeah.
Captain America's probably the closest one to that.
Yeah, because one is not a bad movie. It's just like I didn't like the first Captain America the first time I watched it because I had an expectation of what it was going to be, and it was like a 1950s World War II movie instead of what had come out before it. So I was like, why is it taking this path? But rewatching it, I'm like, this isn't bad. But the second and third
not bad. It's
are
just a
good
little
movies.
slow compared to the other ones.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Look, Laura's already yawning.
That wasn't because
all right. No Marvel for Laura.
I'm sorry,
Wasn't
Laura.
for
This is the
that.
last one, but in spot number 4 is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which again, Drew and I.
which that one I
have
do
seen.
want to see.
All
that
right.
one I want to see.
Now I'm a little. Now I don't know what's going to happen because I expected this to be in number 3, top 3. Okay.
There's not much to say about this one. I think we've talked about this one on the podcast. I really loved Spider-Man the Into the Spider-Verse, which is the first one that came out.
Yep.
It like changed the way that animation is done. Like you can see Pixar in their newer films copying some of the styles that they've put into this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem is like the reason why that one is art styled the way that it is because of that movie. And it's Phil Miller, Chris Lord, like the writing is impeccable. It's like a really genuine, heartfelt story, but told in this way that's so like unique.
Yeah. And this was my number 1 movie of the year. On my list. It just was, again, it ends on a cliffhanger, and I can't wait. I literally am like salivating, waiting for the next part. And it was supposed to come out next year, and it's not going to come out for a long time. And I've already seen one artwork frame, and it's haunting. And I'm like, I can't wait. Yes.
Laura, you've seen New Girl, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick Miller voices one of the Spider-Men in it, and it is.
Oh, okay.
He's like my favorite part of the whole series.
Yeah. No, that's definitely ones that I want to see.
You haven't seen the first one, right?
No.
Okay, cool. Because that one's got like randomly John Mulaney is a Spider-Man, Nicolas Cage is a Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay.
There's it's really
it's very
cool.
good, and the soundtrack is also all bangers.
So
it's
good.
one of the few soundtracks that I'm like, when the movie's like, when this movie was coming out, I was like, I'm gonna save the soundtrack as soon as it comes out.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, spot number 3 on our list, which was on only Drew and I's list, but it was very high up, was Oppenheimer.
Yes.
I figured that was going to be one. Yeah.
Did you end up seeing it, Laura?
I have not seen it yet. No.
It was a very good movie.
It's very good.
It was long, but it was done in such a good way where like you get these 2 crescendos of like stress throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's beautifully like shot and acted and scored. And Drew and I got to see it on film.
On 70 millimeter film, which is huge. The frame.
I was gonna say, was it worth the drive?
Yeah, no, it was a great experience, especially with the crew that we watched it with. We had a good time. I was a little nervous. I have not been in that crowded of a movie theater in a long time. And it's also a very steep theater. It's like kind of like going up like when you're in the stadium, how that goes, like
sketchy.
Yeah. Like that's like a real deal, like 70. It has to be, because the screen is so big. You have to go up so high.
Yeah.
Like, so it was a cool experience. I personally, like, there's this thing about seeing it on film. Oh, if you could see it on film, see it on film. It's the truest way to see it. And being a projectionist, I in the past, I notice when film has a scratch. I notice when dust is on film, and on a screen that big, it's like seeing like Africa on a map. Like you see, like you just at the top corner and you see it moving and you're like, get the fuck off the screen, get off the screen. And like, it's gone. Or you see a scratch on there and like everyone else is transported by this incredible story. And here I am, like, there's a fucking line on his face. Like, God damn, how long is this reel going to last? And then it's gone. Like, I still notice these things. I could have done perfectly. I mean, I got to see the movie in, in fact, the only thing that truly bummed me out is that I didn't get a physical ticket for the movie, because we did it like they were bought online, and you just scanned a thing and they didn't give you a ticket. And I keep all of my movie stubs. Even today, I keep all of my movie stubs, and I save them. So like the earliest movie stub I have, I think, is a Titanic stub from 97, or maybe it was 98, because it might've been after the new year, but I have that stub still. And the ink is fading. I can barely see. It's an old Hoyt's ticket, Laura.
I can print out the email I got if you.
No, thank you. I want that's
just not the same.
That's very sweet.
That's the same with my concert tickets too. I used to always save concert tickets, and now they don't. Like physical ones don't exist anymore. There's no option to get them.
That's why I love. That was always the thing. Like, that was the one thing I missed the most when I was watching movies on my own at movies. When I was working the movie theater, was I never had the ticket to prove it. So, but anyway, Oppenheimer, great, but I could have seen it digital. In fact, I'm literally getting very excited I'm waiting until Christmas to see if someone buys me it on 4K so I can see like how crystal clear it's going to look and not have to worry about fucking dust on the movie.
I actually went to go see it in that film theater twice, because I went with you in a group, and then I went with my my wife and my brother-in-law and
you keep saying film theater. You saw it in IMAX. You saw it in a giant IMAX.
Yeah, it's not a giant IMAX. But it's when the bomb spoiler alert, the bomb goes off in this movie about Oppenheimer.
Ruined the movie for me, Brian.
I was like, what? Where's this cotton candy smell coming from? And this dude, at the same time as the bomb, decided to also rip fat clouds on his vape in front of us.
Oh, God.
And I'm just like, this bomb smells like fucking cotton candy. Is this a 4D?
Yeah.
I guess it could smell worse, like something worse.
Brian, you're so funny. You just mentioned 4D for Oppenheimer. So since this is related, and I'm sure it's going to relate to another very high up movie, Variety does a thing called a series on YouTube called Actors on Actors. where they get two actors in a room who interview each other, and whether they know each other or not, they have a great conversation about their
Nice.
upcoming things. And they paired Cillian Murphy and Margot Robbie together, and it
Fuck
was an
yeah.
awesome
Oh, I
conversation.
need to check that out.
It's 48 minutes. It's really cool. Cillian Murphy actually acts like a human being in an interview. If you ever see him in interviews, he's very like introverted,
Yeah.
and he doesn't really talk much. He usually short answers things. And Margot Robbie is such a fan. She just crushes this, like but she tells him her experience of seeing Oppenheimer the first time. She was in London and the air conditioner broke, and it was at July, and she said it was like a 4D experience because as the bomb was going off, everyone was pouring sweat down, and no one wanted to leave because it was such a good movie. But anyway, watch that Actors on Actors. It's really cool. It came out a couple days ago. Anyway, in
spot number 2, with a critic score of 91% and an audience score of 93%, a film that I promise I did not alter the numbers on, is Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
I'm happy
Reel
with
Doofs
that.
number 2 movie.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I figured.
It was pretty high up on mine.
I did. I gave it higher. I was reluctant about giving it as high of a rating as I did, but
it was one of the best ones that I've seen out of the movies for the year.
Drew, you put it in 9th place.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like.
Yeah, I know. I gave it a high rating.
Laura and I actually both had it pretty high up.
Yeah.
9th place.
Mine was like 4th or 5th, so I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, I was literally like, I'm like, this is how can I make this not in the top 10? And I had to have a real discussion with myself. It was much better than this movie.
Yeah.
It was so much better than this movie.
It's honestly, again, it was one of those things where I really had to separate. Like I had a lot of fun the way that because if anybody doesn't remember, the three of us went to go see this at a drive-in theater over the summer, and we did a double showing. We saw this, which was for me, and then we saw Scream 6, which was for Drew and Laura. I dressed up to try to embarrass Drew. I had an elf costume and my Dungeons and Dragons t-shirt. I had like a hood and ears and everything, and it was such a fun time watching it with the both of you, knowing full well that you probably weren't going to like it all that much.
But we did. I did. I had a really good time. I thought it was a really good movie.
It was very fun. I still like. I'm like, but like the more I think about it, it was so fun.
There's a lot of really funny moments, and it doesn't. Movies that are about like a specific topic like this can sometimes like alienate people who aren't, and Dungeons and Dragons kind of does that anyways. Like the fan base of Dungeons and Dragons has historically been like gatekeepers to the community sometimes. And this very much so doesn't make anybody feel like dumb for not knowing anything about Dungeons and Dragons. Like you totally could watch it and get away with, okay, cool, it's just a fantasy world. Like you don't need to know all of the nerd shit that everybody else knows. But it also had that stuff hidden in the background for anybody who was a Dungeons and Dragons fan. You're like, ooh, cool, that's magic missile or whatever.
And that's what kind of made me put it up a little bit higher. Was I kind of thought about if we hadn't gone together, if we hadn't had all the discussion before about Dungeons and Dragons, and if I just watched it on my own, would I still have liked it? And I think I would have. Like, I think I would have enjoyed it just as much. Yeah. So that's what I was like. That's when I like decided I think I really did like this movie.
Well, the sequel's in pre-production, I think. So
we can go to the drive-in again.
Yeah, right.
Watch
just
that
one
Scream
show.
7. Yeah, Scream 7. Can you imagine that? Is Scream done?
I don't know. Yeah, have you heard all the drama about Scream 7?
No.
They fired the main actress. They booted her because she had not anti-Islamic but pro-Palestine remarks about how Palestinians deserve human rights. And they booted her from the movie. And then Jenna Ortega, the next day, it was announced she left, but they were like, did she do it in solidarity? And she was like, no, I wanted more money and I'm doing a lot of other movies and stuff. And it interferes with that schedule. So I'm not going to move it around unless I got paid more. And I was like, cool. So the two main stars got booted. So now they're scrambling and now they're begging Nev Campbell to come back.
Oh, I think I did see something about that. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's BS, honestly. But I'm not gonna get into that. It's just
Sorry, we took away from your Dungeons and Dragons, Brian.
yeah.
He was
Sorry.
so excited.
No, it still should be. It's great, and I'm glad
Yeah.
it's number 2. Well, I'm not glad it's number 2, but it's number 2.
Yeah. It's a good film. I'm glad you both enjoyed it. I like after putting this list together, there's so many of these movies that I want to like rewatch now, and that's definitely like up there for me. And that brings us to spot number 1 on the Real Doofs list.
I think we can all take a
probably
guess.
know what this film is.
Yeah, are we all wearing our pink?
Yeah,
wonder.
is Barbie, which we all had really, really high up on our lists. It was actually in Laura and I's spot number 1.
Yeah.
My number 2, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Number 2 or number?
What did you guys think about Barbie?
I don't have. Did we talk about this yet on the podcast? I
I'm
don't think we did because
Yeah,
we
I
all
don't know
saw
if
it
we
at
did.
different times.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we might not really have talked about it. I laughed, I cried. I don't know.
No, but I did the
just-
same. Like I laughed and I cried, and I was like, man. And
It was one of the first movies in a very long time that I had like an actual smile on my face. I think like the whole time through the movie.
Yeah.
Because it was
Yeah.
just so good. And especially like obviously growing up with Barbie and the way it starts out with that classic Barbie. Like my
Mhm.
mom had that Barbie and I used to play with her Barbies when I was little and like that exact same Barbie. So it was just like so many
Yeah.
things. And it was funny. It was good. And then it got sad at the end. But it
Yeah.
like the whole entire time I was like, even when I was crying, I still had a smile on my face. 'Cause I'm like, this is just so good.
Y'all think Billie Eilish is going to win her second Oscar for the
Oh,
song
that's
for
such
this
a
movie?
good song.
I
Such a
know.
good
What did
song.
she
And
win
then
the first one for?
She won before the movie even came out. She won the Oscar for the song for "No Time to Die."
Okay, that's what I was gonna guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one was really good.
And
Yeah,
the
this-
music video is really good too. It's super
Yes.
sad.
I know, and I think she directs all of her music videos now, like from like early
That's cool.
on. Yeah, she's something. But anyway, not to take away from Barbie itself, but Barbie. I mean, I just love it when music makes an impact on the movie as
Yeah.
well.
For
Yeah.
And that's like that song was orchestrated throughout that entire movie, and then that last scene was just like when it happened. I was like, my God, man, she's
Mhm.
fucking brilliant. And then
And all the other music, like
Oh,
Dua
yeah.
Lipa
It was so
and the Lizzo
fun.
song, so
Yes.
fun.
Yeah.
yes, I did find out also today watching that Actors on Actors that Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach, who wrote the movie together, they did not structure the movie out as like this happens, and then this happens when before they wrote it. They literally were like together during COVID. They were like just like talking it to each other and bouncing ideas in
Wow.
like a linear fashion. Like they
Mhm.
discovered the movie as the movie takes place in a sense. So
That's
fucking
cool.
cool. And Margot Robbie, because she produced the movie, she was like taking Zoom calls and she never saw the script until it was done. So she had no idea what was going to happen
wow.
with it.
Yeah.
And even Mattel was like they had never done a movie, so at first they read it and when they found out they were a character in the movie, they were like, is this normal? And they were like, yeah, no, this. When they actually said something to them, they kind of got it, but they were like does a Mattel employee have to get shot? Like there's like little things like that. They're
I
like, "Oh,
was
it's gonna be
shocked
funny."
some of the things that they like
Yes, they got
allowed
away
in the
with,
movie.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
but
Because they
yeah.
don't paint Mattel as like a perfect company. in
No.
this
No,
movie
a
at
lot
all.
of a lot of trust went into that, and good for good reason. I think the movie ended up making like $1.6 billion at the
Yeah.
box office.
Yeah, they
But
weren't
yeah.
afraid to make fun of themselves, which if
Yeah.
you're willing to do that in the right way, it
Yeah,
pays off. Like it's actually funny.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah. Because you're like, obviously everyone thinks this anyways. So
Mhm.
why don't we just say it out loud?
yeah,
I'd love to know too, because like there's not a lot of movies that can generate a lot in sales for the movie and also everything else. Like
yeah.
Barbie, not only did the movie make a lot of money, but like I mean, this was them using it for the actual set, but like they like ran out of pink because they painted the set
yeah,
with so
Yeah.
much pink. But also like toy sales went up for Barbie products, and like
Mhm.
there's so many different like products that that skyrocketed
Yeah.
because of the film too, which is just
Yeah.
wild to think
People
about.
dressed up in pink. They
Yeah.
bought stuff to wear to the movie. Like, yeah, it was an
It was
event.
like Kennedy
Yeah.
sweatshirts and stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah, the
it was
the
definitely
cast was like impeccable too.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
what a good cast.
Yeah.
I found out also that before anyone was even cast in the movie, Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach actually literally wrote the names of their wish list as the character. So it was Margot Barbie, and Margot Robbie was already a producer, but she didn't immediately sign on to play Barbie. She said, I would love to be in it, but only if Greta Gerwig. I'm basing it on the director's casting, not me saying I'm producing, so I'm playing this character.
Yeah.
If I'm right for the part, great. But when she read the script, it was Margot Barbie and Ryan Gosling Ken. Like, it was written, names were written in for the wish list on there. It was cool.
I think the marketing too before it came out was incredible. Like, they were so smart on the way that they would drop the behind the scenes like filming of Ryan and Margot like all dressed up in like the roller skates, and like it just became this phenomenon of what is this happening, and they would just drop little things here and there, and it got everyone super excited about it, which is hard to do now because I don't know, it just, you never know really what's going to go viral on like social media, but that probably is what helped a lot too, is it did spread like wildfire, but it could have not, and it could have done really bad because people didn't know about it. So it's just one of those things. I think timing probably has a lot to do with it, and like what people were interested in seeing at the time.
100%. People were craving something different.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know,
and the whole like Oppenheimer, Barbieheimer, like that also
so good.
like.
That's you got to watch the actors and actors. They cover all this stuff we're talking about. It's pretty well, even up to the roller skating pictures that got leaked, Laura. Like they cover, like they talk about how like they knew they were onto something based on like the reactions that were coming out, and it's cool.
And it was just some of the little tiny jokes or things that they mentioned. I'm like, oh, I wasn't the only one as a little kid that thought that or did that. Like, this is a universal thing. Yeah. It was just wild.
Did you Did you cut Barbie's hair?
Oh,
did you make
everyone had a weird Barbie. I had multiple weird Barbies. There's probably one buried out in my parents' yard right now for some reason. But
oh no,
I probably forgot about her. She's out there still.
Amazing.
It was just very, very well done.
Yeah. This is a great top 10. I think we did good with this.
I'm really happy with it. And I know that there's more that like we didn't get to see this year. I think Drew, you said you saw like 20 something movies. I only saw 16. Laura, you were like around there somewhere, right?
Yeah, I was only like 11 or 12.
Yeah. So I know this was a busy year for us. So I think we missed a few. Which brings me to our like after the top 10 part of the show, which is where we wanted to talk about what is one movie you wanted to see in 2023 but didn't get a chance to yet. I don't need to tell you what you put in. I don't know if Drew, if you want to go first.
Sure. So I think I remember, and I believe I said it was Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yes.
I really wish I was able to see that in theaters. I will not be able to see it until probably the beginning of the year. I'm waiting for Apple to start streaming it, since it was an Apple, I can rent it right now or buy it on demand. But I'll wait a little bit longer for it to show up. But it's definitely going to be award seasons. It's going to be, I'm pretty sure the Oscars are going to be a Barbie, Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon competition this year. Though I'm also hoping that Across Spider-Verse gets a Best Picture nod. It's definitely going to win animated, but beside the point. So yeah, Killers of the Flower Moon, Martin Scorsese, brutal, true story account of the Osage tribal people and them being pretty much almost the richest people on Earth in the early, I think it's 20s or 30s. And these Native Americans find oil on their land, and the jealous white folks around essentially plot a devastating way of murder and steal their land and their oil and get really rich. And it's based on true events. Lily Gladstone is a Native American who plays the main female character, who's married to Leonardo DiCaprio's character in it. She is apparently phenomenal. First movie she's ever done. They're saying that she is a shoo-in for the nomination, and at this point, she is the top ranked for winning the Oscar, also for Best Actress,
Oh, wow.
which is going to be really wild. But she should absolutely get a nomination for it, which is going to be great. And Robert De Niro playing the old evil conspirer. You also get Jesse Plemons in the movie as the FBI agent, who I love him so much. But also, you get Brendan Fraser as a I don't want to call him creepy, but skeezy lawyer as well.
Okay.
And they said everybody did an amazing job. So Scorsese's always on top, but yeah, amazing. So I want to see it. Missed it in theaters. It's winding down right now. It's not really playing too many places right now, and I'm willing to wait a little bit longer for the stream.
Yeah.
3.5 hours. I did my 3.5 hour movie this year.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm ready for at home at my own convenience.
Yeah. Totally fair. Laura, what about you?
I think, did I put Saltburn as
You did.
mine? Okay. So this just came out, so it was very unlikely that I was going to get it onto our list in time. I honestly don't know very much about it, but I've just heard from other people that have seen it that it's wild.
Same. I've heard the same.
Our heartthrob new Elvis boy, what's his name? Jacob Elordi.
Yeah.
He's in it, and I know that. And I heard there's a really crazy bathtub scene that I've heard more details about than I'd rather prefer to know. But I guess if I'm going to watch it, I'm going to see it. So yeah, I want to know what all the hype is about. Yes.
When I heard about the movie and who was writing and directing it, I was like, yeah, I'm in. I want to see this. This is the same writer director. She did oh my god, what was it? Something Young Woman.
Promising Young Woman.
Promising Young Woman.
The one that you told me to watch for like 2 years. You couldn't remember the name.
yeah. Well, it's been a while, but yeah,
that was an awesome movie when I finally watched it. Yeah,
and it goes in a direction you don't expect. So Emerald.
Okay.
What's her the director's name is Emerald.
Fennel or Fennel?
Fennel, yes. And by the way, she was in Barbie as the pregnant Barbie. She was,
okay.
she was Midge, because she was also in the show Brian liked.
We
Downton
don't talk
Abbey.
about Midge.
Yeah. But Emerald Fennel. So yeah.
Okay. So now that I know that she did that movie, now I'm even more intrigued about this. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. What about you, Brian? What's your movie?
There's so many I've been keeping track of, and I agree with both of yours. I definitely want to check both of them out. Mine is Dream Scenario, which just came out in November. It's an A24 film, and it's got Nicolas
is that the
Cage
Nick
in
Cage?
it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It just
forgot
looked really,
about that. Yeah.
It's totally my vibe. Weird movie, but Nick Cage starts showing up in people's dreams, and it's just like this nerdy professor guy who's like suddenly thrust into like fame, basically. Like everybody knows who he is because he keeps showing up in their dreams, and he gets picked up on news circuits, and then like he starts doing bad stuff in people's dreams, but he's not controlling it. So it's like, or at least that's the way it makes it seem in the trailer.
Yeah.
That whole concept sounds super interesting to me. It also seems like an allegory for like fame, like people who get thrust into fame, and it's a good thing at first, but then the second like you fall out of favor with the public view, like it can turn on you quickly. And that's I don't know, interesting to see what they'll do with that. But I totally agree with you.
It's on my list too.
Yeah. Still playing around here right now.
Yeah, I might be able to catch it.
I didn't even realize it was out yet.
I didn't either. And then I saw it when I was scrolling through the movies this week. I was like, oh shit, that's out.
It's too busy this time of year to keep up.
Yeah,
for sure.
Nice. Yeah, those are all cool.
Those are all three that we need to see.
Yeah, I think being at the time of year it is right now while we're filming this, I still plan on getting a couple movies in.
Yeah.
So I was telling earlier before we started recording, and I wanted to save this for the actual podcast. by the time this airs, I will have seen this movie this week. This movie just came out. It has a 97% on the tomato meter and a 98% audience score.
Wow.
It is being hailed as one of the best movies of the year, and it may even get a nomination for foreign film.
Okay.
So I was saying earlier about Past Lives is definitely going to get the nomination. Probably the win. This could get the nomination. Godzilla -1.
Yeah.
What?
The new
It's
Godzilla
been like
movie.
crushing. I remember seeing the trailer and being like, this actually looks pretty good.
Laura, this Godzilla movie
I
is
looked this up.
Godzilla being taken very seriously, and it's almost a horror movie.
Oh, okay.
And it is really all about the characters. It's very character driven, where someone told me, the way I heard this, they compared Godzilla in this movie to Jason Voorhees in the Friday the 13th movies, where there's jump scares, he comes out of nowhere, he's truly terrifying. But it's about this World War II kamikaze pilot who can't go through with it. He's supposed to crash his plane and help the Japan war effort, and he can't do it, and he's brought shame to his family and his name.
Okay.
And it's a couple years later, Japan is rebuilding. They have redubbed themselves like Japan Zero. It's starting over. We're at zero now.
Yeah.
And Godzilla comes out of nowhere and fucks this place up. And it's really about the interpersonal demons that this person has, and the ghosts from what he's not real ghosts, but the ghosts inside from not doing what he had the chance to do and do the honorable thing. It's like this. It's supposedly so good. I cannot wait to see this now. And I'm going to see it this week.
Nice.
As I was looking at pictures, I realized, I was like, Godzilla looks really different than I remember him. And then I realized I was thinking about King Kong, and those are truly very two different characters. I was like, why is King Kong a reptile? But nope, that's Godzilla. But this looks very cool. I did not know that this was out or even a thing, but
it did so well over the weekend. It's extending its run an extra week. It was only supposed to be a short 1 week run, and it's getting a second week of play, which is awesome.
Looks very cool.
And
I don't know really like stuff like they're into that, but I would go see that. Yeah.
I will let you know if it's as good as they're saying it is, but I am very excited. Watch the trailer. It's pretty wild. Like it's and the guy who wrote it wrote, directed, and did the visual effects for the movie. And he wants to do a Star Wars movie, and everyone's like, give that guy a Star Wars movie. So, so anyway, that's the one that I'm definitely seeing this week. I'm going to see Wonka next Friday.
Okay.
I have tickets already. I'm excited.
You think that would make it onto your top 10?
I don't know. I mean, it's the directors of Paddington.
Okay.
It looks extremely wholesome, and I saw a small clip of the movie, and it hit me so hard in the chest, like a heartfelt moment, that I almost cried at a clip. And I was like, oh man, is that what's going to happen here? So I'm a little worried that I'm going to like have this like sniffly in it, but but I'm excited. I hope it's good. It's being said that it's decent.
Yeah.
No one's saying it's amazing. No one's saying it's horrible. But I'm hoping that it's very heartfelt. And then over the Christmas holiday, I'll probably try to see the Pretty Little Ones, the one with Emma Stone, where it's basically it's like a retelling of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
But it's Emma Stone is Frankenstein. And then maybe Wish. If I can see Wish before, I hear it's not. I hear it's audiences like it, critics hated it. It's not performing well for Disney, but I would totally see it.
Another one I had no idea was out.
It came out Thanksgiving, and like
the toys for it, and I was like, what is this? I don't know.
Yeah. I hear the biggest problem with it is that it's all about the it's like it's Disney 100 years in the making. So there's so many references in this movie about their other movies that they don't make you care enough about the main characters in this movie.
Okay.
They're too busy hiding Easter eggs about every other thing they've done.
Yeah.
So there's a Hocus Pocus reference in this movie,
Oh, really?
movie Wish. Yeah.
Interesting.
So it probably is better for like adults maybe that want to
Maybe.
or
Yeah.
Disney adults
Yeah.
that want to
So-
find all the Easter eggs. That,
Yeah. So
worth
many
to
Easter eggs in
watch.
the movie. Yeah.
Wow.
So those are my things I'm going to try and get in before the year's over. But Godzilla's happening this week, and I'm like actually
Yeah.
really excited.
Let us know what it is, because I saw the trailer
Yeah.
for it and I was like pretty excited about it. So,
Nice.
what's the worst movie you saw in 2023?
Oh, I remember what I put. Does it count if I didn't finish watching it because that's how bad it was?
Yeah, I think it counts more.
Yeah. What
Mine
was
was
it?
the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey.
Oh yeah.
I think I just mentioned this last week.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Did you know there's a second one coming out?
Yes.
Wow, wild.
How that got funded, I don't know. Like, who gave the green light to that? Because I think I maybe got 20 minutes into the movie, and someone tell me if I am wrong that somehow it got way better after the first 20 minutes, and I should go back and watch it. But I highly doubt it. But it was just so bad. Like,
Yeah.
the concept of these creatures living out in the woods that this kid was friend, like, it follows the Christopher Robin thing where he had these creatures that were friends in the woods and he started feeding them, and then he left for college and he stopped feeding them, so
And
they
he
started to like
abandoned them.
starve and die. So then they started their then
Ventured out of
goal
the
was to
woods.
kill everybody.
Aw.
When they hadn't ventured out of the woods yet, they decided that they needed to find Christopher Robin and kill him. But before they could do that, they got so hungry that Eeyore had to go. So they ate Eeyore. And this all happens in the first 20 minutes. And then he comes back from college with his girlfriend. He's showing her the 100-acre woods, and she gets murdered.
Aw.
And I'm like, then I think he was about to get murdered. And I'm like, what more could there be of this movie? The whole plot just happened in 20 minutes, and
Oh
it
my
was
God.
so bad.
Wow.
Oh, I'm
And
sorry.
I don't know how he was supposed to be friends with these creatures when he was a young kid, when it's like a full grown man dressed up in a Winnie the Pooh costume. Like, it's clearly humans.
Yeah.
I just had a lot of questions.
Hard times there, huh?
It
That's
just was
funny.
weird. I didn't like it. But again, if someone watched through the whole thing and they're like, Laura, you are completely wrong, please tell me and I'll watch it again.
You gonna add it to your list, Drew?
No, I don't plan on watching it. I never did. When I watched the trailer, I said enough.
No, you don't need to.
Not for me. Thank you. Brian, I don't remember what I put on mine.
It's actually the same thing I put, which is Ghosted, the
Oh,
Chris
yeah,
Evans, Ana de Armas rom-com.
Yeah, the thing for me is like out of all the things I watched, I wanted to watch all the movies I watched,
Yeah.
and nothing to me was horrible.
Same.
It was just the most fine. It's a movie
Yeah.
that I watched all year.
Agreed.
I laughed more than I thought I would too. I actually enjoyed the movie
Yeah.
to some degree.
I think the only
There-
thing that like took me out of it was like it's extremely bad CGI throughout
Oh.
the entire thing. Like it's awful set production
Yeah, it also felt a little long, a little
for what it
long.
was, for sure.
Yeah, but
What could be CGI'd in this? Isn't it like a
There's, like,
rom-com?
yeah.
no,
there's,
it's
like,
an
fight
action
scenes and
rom
stuff.
com.
Oh, okay.
Ana de Armas is like a secret agent, and she ghosts him. But he's like, it's also like no
Okay.
one is
I'm seeing
ghosting
more
Chris
pictures
Evans.
now. I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Like
No, who the hell
no
would
one's-
ghost
yes,
Chris
and no
Evans?
one's ghosting Ana de Armas. Like it's just not happening.
Yeah.
But it was because she was
Um,
on a mission, Drew.
Yeah, I know
She
she
didn't
was,
ghost
but
him
like
on purpose.
I know. But there was like a lot of random cameos in there that were kind of silly that just
Yeah.
popped up. And no, you know what? Honestly, watching it, I was like, man, they have such great chemistry. I want to watch Knives Out again.
Yeah, they were better in Knives Out. I think they had
Yes.
more chemistry in Knives Out than in
Yeah.
the rom-com.
Yeah.
It was
the
just
whole-
it's just awkward, like writing too. The writing. Was
Yeah,
really
his whole
sloppy.
weird like family storyline was
God,
just
that was bizarre.
just like I don't know, just they didn't click at all.
Yeah,
It was one of those things like, well, you know, you never have a girlfriend because you do this, and it's like there's weird conversations happening right now.
He would
I
also
just-
always have a girlfriend. so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
So
he works at a farmer's market. So
yeah, it's true.
That's like
how are you gonna?
the greenest green flag he could wave to get a girlfriend.
No. It's like, tell me you're 10, but you work at a farmer's market.
No, that's the opposite. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, overall, it was a fine movie.
That's funny that you both put the same thing.
We were
Yeah.
like struggling. When I looked at my list, I was just like,
I try not to watch. My list was so short already. I'm like, I don't really watch anything that I don't like. I don't have time for that.
And that's what happens now. If I'm not into it within the first like 20, 30 minutes, I'm not wasting my time on it. Because if it's not good by then, or at least has me somewhat intrigued to see what happens,
I'm like literally looking through this, and I'm like, the only other movie on my list that like that the Haunted Mansion, we watched Haunted Mansion, and it started off really good, and then it kind of got not great. It was fine. And then I watched a horror movie, and I told Laura, like, you got to watch this movie. I really liked it. And then the more I thought about it after it was over, I was like, yeah, it was kind of weak. It was called No One Will Save You.
Watch it.
Yeah. No, but it's good while it's on. But then when it's over, you're like, wait, I have some questions. But also, like I said, I think that just Ghosted movie was the only one that I was like,
Yeah, I saw Indiana Jones on a plane ride, the Dial of Destiny.
Yeah.
And I think I still like that more than Ghosted.
Yeah, I have that on, like, that's fine. I liked it all the way to the very like third act.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, wait a second. That's the watch that guy, why does this corpse have a watch on? That is a Today watch.
Watch.
Yeah. And then I saw it. I'm like, that doesn't make sense that watch would hold up for that many thousands of years. So yeah, it got a little weird, but
yeah.
And I think, Brian, were you and I talking how like we're like the movie, what should have been this movie should have been his little buddy from the second movie from Temple of Doom, Key, from Everywhere Always Everywhere, what do you know, that one. It should have been him finding Indiana Jones and getting his like blessing to be an anti-Indiana Jones and steal from the museums and bring them back to their actual cultures and where they were stolen from in the first place. That would be an amazing like new Indiana Jones story.
Where they team up to like rob museums.
Yes, and take like robbed treasures back to where they belong.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
But anyway.
Yeah. It is 2024 at the time of this airing.
Yes.
Like it is.
What movies are you all looking forward to the most this year?
Beetlejuice 2 was one of mine.
Yes.
I think just because the first one, classic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Second one looks like it's going to be really good. They filmed it up in Vermont. I was so bummed that I didn't get to go
and rob the set.
No, I just wanted to go. You could like go drive up pretty close to it, and
I know
see,
someone
like, the
stole
house.
the sculptures.
Oh, they did?
Oh, really?
Yeah, there were.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, someone robbed some stuff from it.
Oh my gosh, no, I didn't know that. But yeah, the cast looks good. I love that a lot of the old cast is coming back.
Mhm.
I don't know really much about what the storyline's supposed to be, so
Same.
I kind of want to keep it a mystery. Yeah, excited.
I did hear that there's one particular actor who's going to be in it who plays like a detective of the undead. I think Willem Dafoe is going to be in it, and he's going to be like an undead, like from that undead world. He's going to be like
kind of like how the what was her name, the older lady that had the smoking thing
at that place, but I think he's going to be like someone who has to like find spirits that are supposed to be there. I don't know. I have no idea, honestly, but I think that's the fact that Willem Dafoe is going to be in it makes me excited because he's awesome.
Yeah, I love that.
So you have Beetlejuice 2. What else you got?
And then my next one is Mean Girls. Again, love the original classic. I love, now her name is escaping me.
The lead actress or
in the new one coming up? Yeah,
but the lead,
yeah.
She was.
What's her name?
I can't remember either.
Oh.
She's been in a couple of things that I've seen, not too many, but she was Betty Brant in the Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man movies.
Okay.
She's got a movie on Hulu that I think I really want to see. It's about a high schooler trying to get into college, and she wants to be like the number one in her class, but the kid Dustin from Stranger Things is like just outpacing her, and she's trying to almost like seduce him to like not like
Yeah.
get as good of a grade as her and stuff. Like looked really good. It's supposed to be decent.
She's also there's a HBO show called,
Was it Sharp Objects?
Something. No, it's something, The Sex Life of Girls in College or something.
She's in
It's
that?
written by Mindy
Kaling, right?
yeah, it's really
Yeah.
funny.
No
Renee
kidding.
Rapp is her
Okay.
name. I love
Oh wait, is she Regina George?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of Maddie, or I think her name's Maddie, the main girl, like the Lindsay
Oh.
Lohan.
No, I'm
That's who I
talking
was-
about Regina.
Regina, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
cool.
she's like the main one that's been in all the trailers and stuff.
Yeah.
No, Renee Rapp. I absolutely love her.
Yeah.
So very excited.
I
And
also
then it's
like
a musical. So
right.
Yeah.
I like that they got John Hamm to be the creeper gym teacher.
Oh, I didn't know. I really haven't looked again. This is one that I'm like, oh, Busy Phillips is in this.
Busy Phillips.
I
in it
love
as-
Busy
as,
Phillips.
She's Regina's mom.
Okay, I don't want to look at anymore.
Okay,
I
don't
wanna
look
be
anymore.
surprised.
But Moana, Louis Kalua, I can't say her last name. She's playing the friend that Regina called a lesbian, and she's like, she's Maddie's
yep,
like
yep,
the
yep.
group that convinces her to
Katie,
be-
not Maddie.
Katie, yeah, Katie, thanks.
I was like, who's Maddie?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen it enough, but I've seen it. But
Okay, cool.
yeah, and she's
love
like,
it.
yeah, I love her. She's great.
Oh,
from Moana.
Janice. She plays Janice.
Yeah.
Okay, and then my third movie, this one, I didn't know they were coming out with another one, and it's like a random toss in here that I don't think we've ever talked about these movies before,
But
but
they're
Kingdom
so good.
of the Planet of the Apes, and I have an odd obsession with these movies. I don't know
Okay.
why, I just like them.
Yeah, well, they're very good. The first three, the newer three.
I
were
like the
very
newer
good.
ones. The what was the first one that came out with James
Rise.
Franco?
Yeah, that was Rise of the Planet of the
That
Apes.
is such a good
Yes.
movie,
Mhm.
and it kind of got me hooked since then. So I
Yeah.
didn't know there was a new one coming. So now I'm very excited when I
So-
was looking at movies.
My only hesitation is that so I think out of that trilogy, the second and third were the best of them. I think all three were good movies. My personal opinion. The one with Franco was really good, but Dawn of the Planet of the Apes was incredible, and then War of the Planet of the Apes was such an amazing end chapter. And the last two were done by Matt Reeves, who made The Batman recently, and just Matt Reeves is a very awesome director. And then when Disney bought it, he exited, and I don't know what team is back. So I don't know. Is it directly connected to where, like, does it follow? Do those first three movies that we really liked, did they actually happen in this movie, or is this a whole new reboot? 45, or I think it's about 100 years later, because maybe 100 or 200 years later, because the buildings, the skyscrapers are all, fucked up and shit, and like overgrown and stuff. So I'm like optimistic, but also like very careful, because that trailer looked pretty cool, right?
I haven't seen the trailer. I just
Stop.
No,
Laura, watch
I
the
just
trailer.
I literally was looking to make this list. I just Googled, 2024
coming out in 2024, yeah.
releases, and I saw this and I put it on the list, but I know nothing about it.
I'm so excited. Yeah,
I'll
go
watch
in
this right after.
Yeah.
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 Cool.
But yeah, those are my three.
Nice.
Very cool. Yeah, mine. I've got the only Marvel movie that's coming out next year. They're finally giving life everybody a breather.
Yeah.
So Deadpool 3 is coming out next year. I've been stoked about this from the start. That Disney Marvel is allowing a rated R Marvel movie.
Yep.
Awesome. Ryan Reynolds playing Deadpool was great in the other two. The fact that he got Hugh Jackman to come back to play Wolverine, the fact that it's going to be an absolute crazy fucking movie, and the fact that new photos and all these set things leaked like over the last couple of days showing some shit that I had never expected. I'm so fucking excited, and it's coming out in July. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this.
People are definitely calling it like a reset on the MCU right now because there's just been so much stuff, and this like got a lot of reshoots. It got a lot of like added stuff added to it, and
Yeah.
I think they're expecting it to like do well, and I think they're using that to like kind of course correct a little bit
I
and have
think
that be the only
so.
movie next year.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think it's going to give them the opportunity for people to, I think this is going to be something that is going to be such a fun and it's going to set up what's coming next, and there's not going to be anything. So everyone's going to be like, I want more.
Yeah.
But hopefully DC doesn't overcrowd the slate either. Cause I think DC has just Joker maybe next year. I don't know, but that's my other movie is Joker 2, the second Joker movie.
Folie à doigt.
Yeah, Folie à doigt. Yeah, right. I am.
Like how Brian did it perfectly.
He
and
did.
then
I'm like
Ginger-
fillet of fish.
Je suis fatigué.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this. The first movie was a very heavy movie. It was a really awesome take. If you had asked me, and no one did, but I gave my thoughts. I said, why do we need an origin story about the Joker? He's one of the most unique characters.
Yeah.
There's no need to tell this story. It fucks things up.
Yeah.
And it was dark and rough, and it was a really interesting take. This is going to be a musical.
Yeah.
This is a musical.
What?
Lady Gaga is playing Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
I
very
am
cool.
very interested in this movie.
Yeah.
I did
So,
not know
yeah.
that. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be unique and different.
Yeah.
And then finally, next Christmas, a very, at least I hope, cool horror movie is coming out, and that is a remake of Nosferatu, which is one of the first vampire movies ever made. If you've ever seen that silent movie Vampire with the bald guy with the huge ears and the teeth, yeah, Count Orlok. It was the first film that was based after the book Dracula, but it wasn't Dracula. It was Nosferatu. So who is it? Is it Dave Eggers or David Lowery? Robert Eggers. Robert Eggers does these really just heavy movies. His first movie got him really noticed and also launched the career of Anya Taylor-Joy. He did this movie called The Vitch. And it's a very tense movie. It's cool. He did The Lighthouse with Pattinson and Willem Dafoe. He just did The Norsemen last year with Alexander Skarsgård. This movie, Nosferatu, our boy Pennywise, Bill Skarsgård, is playing Nosferatu.
That will be good.
Lily Rose Depp is playing the lead actress. Anya Taylor-Joy had to drop out because she did Mad Max, the new Mad Max movie, which, by the way, the trailer for the origin story, Furiosa, just came out. Looks pretty wild. But it's got a few other names. I know Willem Dafoe is in the movie also, and there's one other lead actor in this. Let me see, Ferratu in 2006. Where are you, Nas? There we go. That's the one, right? Where the fuck are you, Nosferatu? 24. Yeah. So Emma Corrin is going to be in the movie. Who Emma Corrin was in the House of the Dragon show. She was one of the I think she was the younger version of one of the characters, but Aaron Taylor Johnson is in it. That's who it is. Nicholas Hoult, also in another vampire Dracula-ish movie. Bill Skarsgård, Willem Dafoe, Lily Rose Depp. So bunch of interesting names in this movie. But yeah, Robert Eggers doing it, and he basically said his absolute goal is to make a movie that's truly scary.
Ooh, I like that.
He said we don't get enough movies that are scary.
Very
he's like,
true.
and he's like, that's his goal, is to have this movie be scary,
I'm
like
excited
hauntingly
for that
scary.
now.
So and it's coming out around Christmas of next year. So those are my 2024 must watches, but there's still a bunch of movies I can't wait to see.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
And Brian, let's hear yours.
Yeah. So this won't be like, this won't take too much time because some of mine are duplicated. I also had Mean Girls on my list. I've actually never seen Mean Girls. I know that's on our like list.
Yeah, we got to make that happen.
And
Before,
so I think
beforehand.
we have to do that. But I really like musicals, so the fact that like I've been excited to watch Mean Girls. It's not like it's not something I'm dreading. I'm excited to watch it. I want to know where all the references come from, and the fact that they're doing a musical like 20 years later is like I'm very excited for that, and like the experience that will come out of all of that. Deadpool 3 is also on my list. Very excited for the only Marvel movie next year. I'm also excited for it to beat the only Marvel movie next year. I do need a breather.
I can take a break.
But like, what a banger to go out on! Because you just know it's gonna be fun and super like heavy on the references. I know they'll get whatever they want for it. I'm also really excited for Dune Part 2, which comes out like later in the year. I really, really liked Dune Part 1. It was really good. It was such a long movie. It's probably one of the longest movies I've ever watched, where at the end of it, I was like, oh, that's it? Like, this is where it's ending? Like, I was disappointed that it was over because I was excited to find out what happened next. But yeah, so no, I'm super excited for Part 2 for that, and I'm sure we'll watch the 84 Dune or something.
Yeah, because I've never seen.
But you should check out like the one that came out recently, Laura. I mean, I don't know if you're a Timothy Chalamet fan or not, but there's a lot of
I can
people.
go either way.
Cool. Yeah, he's good in it. There's a lot of people in it in that movie, and it's a good one. It is. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. That's it.
Cool.
That's our show.
I'm excited for movies next year.
I know.
Yeah, we've got some good stuff.
So, Brian, so to start next year off, we'll probably start off, depending on when Mean Girls actually comes out, we'll probably start the year off. We'll have you watch Mean Girls. I think that's an appropriate thing to do. But what I want to do is start January off in, like I said, fun way. So Mean Girls is a great way to do it. But Laura and I agreed that it's about time that we get you to watch the Jackass series.
Okay.
So we are going to watch our second movie in January. Is going to be the first Jackass movie.
The very first one.
Yes. And what I tried to get Laura to agree with, which she said no, which is fine, was I said, let's watch all 4 this year, once a quarter. And she was like, too much. And I was like,
Jackass.
Deal. So we're going to do this over the course of 2 years. We are going to watch January and July. We are going to watch a Jackass movie for the next 2 years.
I feel like that's very fitting for July.
I think so too. It is very America.
Yeah.
So January is already locked in. Y'all.
All right.
We've got our choices. So I'm very excited for this.
Cool.
I hope you are too.
Yeah.
I don't know what to guess for that's going to be fun to.
Oh no, I'll have questions for you.
Okay.
Don't worry. Laura and I will come up with some questions like, how many times do you think bodily fluid will be will happen, or how many penises will you see? Stuff like that. So very excited for that.
All right.
Yeah, what a great year. I just loved spending it with the both of you. So I don't know if this is something we're going to all of us do going forward, but I just want to tell you, I'm grateful for the both of you. This is a hobby of ours, but it's something I look forward to every few weeks. I'm literally like, this is just something that brings me personal joy, and just being able to spend it with the both of you makes me immensely happy, especially when I'm having tough times or it's busy or I need that break. Being with the both of you really does it for me. And it's something that I love watching and sharing with you both, or experiencing with you. So yeah, I just want to, again, say that this is just one of the most grateful experiences that I get to do, and with 2 amazing people, and I would not change it for the world. I want to keep doing this for a bit longer, y'all. So I just want to thank you both
Aw.
because
I didn't have a
again,
speech prepared, Drew.
I didn't either. It just happened.
Just
Like I
flowed
said,
off the tongue.
yeah, you both
No.
make me very happy, and honestly, when we get to do this even in person, it makes me even more happy. So I hope we get
We
to do a
do have
couple
a
more
blast
this
in
year.
person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
You're
hope we
not
get to do
allowed
a
to make
couple
the
more.
drinks this time, though, Drew.
No, no, I am because that was really good.
That was really good.
Yeah. Oh man, for Beetlejuice, we gotta have no.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
No,
yeah,
I
just
love
wanted
you
to tell
guys
you,
too. And thank you for
great.
having me still continue with you.
You're part of the
after,
show,
yeah.
Laura.
I'm
You're just
officially, it's been like
you're
over
in.
a year now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
You're in. That's
you're
it.
in.
All
Awesome.
right.
Yeah, no, this is a lot of fun to do. This is like I know that like our lives get busy and everything, and it's tough to find time to squeeze something in that feels like an extra thing on our workload.
Yeah.
But it is like one of the more fun hobbies that I get to
Mhm.
do, and I'm really glad I get to do it with both of you.
Awesome.
Regardless of the contractual obligation that I have to be here and forces me to say that, I definitely mean it.
Shh, you shouldn't tell anyone.
Awesome. Yeah, I know, right?
It's our secret.
And if you want a
Awesome.
contractual obligation, please head over
I
to
was waiting for it.
realdoofs.com, sign the waiver, join the cult, drink the Kool-Aid, and you can follow us on all of our social medias. We're at Reel Doofs on all of them. We're on the TikTok, we're on the Instagram, we're on the Facebook. We're serving you polls all year long on what movies you want us to watch. And also, if you are listening to us on a podcast subscription service and you haven't subscribed yet, do it. What are you waiting for? Because if you don't,
Please.
yeah, stop waiting. The time is now. Just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. And then you get every episode served right to you on a silver platter.
Yep.
And you get to eat up these tasty morsels as soon as they come out.
Amazing.
I love it. All right. Bye, Barbie.
Yeah, bye, Barbie.
I am become death.